I think the sad reality of today is that we are actually seeing climate crisis occur in every location, in every season. In my own country, we have annual wildfires that destroy landscapes, evacuate communities, and envelop the landscape in smoke. And so it's really hard to ignore the reality of what's happening outside our back door. And I think that's really motivating people to step up and say, this is not the future that we want.
I think it really comes back to having relationships with those communities, having relationships with trusted messengers and leaders within those communities, and that includes health professionals. When I've spoken with friends and colleagues about climate action, sometimes the arguments around emissions or pollution don't really resonate, but when we talk about the impacts on their health and the health of their loved ones and the communities that they care about, that's when they're spurred to action.
I think traditional climate messaging has kind of othered the audience. I think traditional climate messaging, whilst, is vitally important to look at communities all the way around the world, people in their daily lives are not waking up and thinking about the other side of the world. They're thinking about how they can feed their kids. They're thinking about what their day brings. They're thinking about, how they can get to work. So I think it's really important to make sure that we personalize, the impacts of climate, extreme weather, cost of living, on the daily lives of people. That's what people care about. They care about how to afford to put food on the table, right? So I think it's really important that climate comms moves from othering the audience that we're trying to speak to into actually speaking to their concerns, how climate impacts them, whether that be cost of living or indeed the extreme weather that they are increasingly going to face themselves, not in other parts of the world.